tonight, ladies and gents. Let me just try to get rid of all this rubbish that's on the thing here. What a time for my MIDI controller to break down. Welcome, finally. We're back to the final race of season 15 here. That's sensational here for AK Racing. I'll get rid of the music as well. Gee whiz. What a great start. It's been absolutely topsy-turvy week for us here at Sensational TV. We're lucky to be streaming from this channel again, but we're back. And we welcome you all to another night's racing. Joined tonight, as always, by the man, the myth, in the Melbourne Bitter jumper as well. Looking very suave indeed, is Zach O'Reilly.
Thank you, mate. Gorillas and Melbourne Bitter. What a combo, I'll tell you that much. And rest in peace to the old man, Eddie Jordan. One of his fantastic Buzzin' Hornets liveries there. A man, a myth, and also the legend of the last rock star of Formula One too. So we shout out to him and his family this week. But nonetheless, he'll be happy watching these Wednesday Cup go around tonight. It is a season finale, Christopher. And that means we have got a trophy on the line here for the winner of it. Who's going to be the man to do so? And also, we've got some surprise entrants too. A little bit of a last round tradition that we are going to set now. Is open for everyone.
Yep, absolutely. So keep an eye out. There'll be a few green, I suppose, drivers out there tonight just doing their best. And they have to contend with the pointy end of the field. And what better time to have a look at said pointy end of the field? This is the top 10 drivers. No, it's
That's the Samsung
TV. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? The standings have just disappeared. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Let's see if we can get them up.
Hey.
There we go. Finally. It's all having some technical issues here tonight, not only on the server side, but all of a sudden, OBS starting to not play ball. But the guy who's been playing ball all season is right there out in front. Alex McEwen, 887, about 50 odds shy of Jake Buttigieg behind him. Matt Munro make it the top three. Ezra Simmons in fourth. He's made up a position there as well. So is Paul Buttigieg. Brody Barber on the way up the order as well with Hughesy, Falzon, Scott McEwen, and Andre Elliott rounding out your top 10. The final round, Zach O'Reilly, can Jake I don't think Matt Munro is in the picture. Can Jake Buttigieg make up some ground on Alex McEwen?
Oh, he's got about 180 points to do it, so it's going to be interesting. But nonetheless, the biggest surprise out of that is Ezra Simmons in fourth place. A word on the wire there, Christopher Munro, is he signed up for Jenny Craig and lost 3 foot. And so he's ready to get out of it. So he's ready to go. He's had to adjust the seats and whatever. So we could see a mythical performance from him tonight. But nonetheless, Alex McEwen has been the guy for the whole season, ladies and gentlemen. You've noticed him all the time, being out there in front at some point of some event. So it's going to be interesting. Who can catch him? It's only 60 points between himself and who was in second there. I can't remember now.
Buttigieg in second there. He's only within striking distance if all goes to plan for the Buttigieg racing team.
Yeah, it should be interesting. But that is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Mount Panorama. Boy, oh boy, Is that going to be exciting. So I think it's time to get these boys off the practice server and get into qualifying. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a great idea, ladies and gentlemen. Fire up the Canara because we're heading into the cooler months now in Australia. So as you can see, Zach with the jumper on there, must be cool down in Melbourne. So fire those up, get your drinks ready because a certain night of action is coming ahead just in a few moments. So we're going to get these guys ready for qualifying. Don't go anywhere. We will return very shortly. Back on track, viewers. In the comm box, as always, myself, Chris Munro, Zach O'Reilly as well. These guys just getting ready for a start. I think they're going to go at 8 minutes, but we'll see what happens. It is the last round, so a little bit of leeway from the stewards is always welcomed in the last round, where they're getting a little bit tired in the legs. Some of these Praga engines have been running all season, and they've been doing their best as well. So get your predictions in. Can anyone knock Alex McEwen off in qualifying? Here he goes now, off on his opening hot lap, or on his out lap, should I say.
Yeah, he's banker. He'll be right. He's got the clean air in front of him, the first man to brave the mountain. Mind you, they were pretty quick in practice there too. So This could be interesting. Nick Mallows said that he wasn't the quickest man on the track, so it could be a Nathan Hughes coming around at some stage here in qualifying. Who goddamn knows? But what a place. What an era of racing that we are at here at the old Bathurst Mount Panorama Circuit. And as you climb the hill here in Praga, you've got all the downforce that you need as you go over the top of Skyline 2. It's an absolutely fantastic view to watch these cars go around here. And what a qualifying event. A short qualifying session in terms of laps, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing 2 minute, 2 minute 8, 9, 10 sort of thing for their actual flying lap. So we've realistically only got about 2, maybe even 3 laps at the maximum to get around here instead of a pole position time, hopefully.
That's cutthroat. That's the way we like it here in the Wednesday Cup. No room for mistakes. And we can hopefully expect maybe just a couple of little mistakes from these blokes at the front, and that will blow the field wide open. As you can see, there's some smoke coming out of the back of that Praga there for Alex McEwen. He won't be too happy with that, but he's got his old mate here in the server just behind him too, Nick Mello, and he has promised in the chat earlier to give him a bit of a hurry up as well. So keep an eye out. A little bit of fireworks there. He said personally, I'm going to take a few points off Alex McEwen tonight. So these the first of the predictions come in right there.
Well, look out. He's only the one man who can put it on pole. Is it going to be Alex McEwen? Is it going to be Nick Mello? Is it going to be Jake Buttigieg as well in the championship fight, ladies and gentlemen? So this is practice primo sort of stuff here. Get it sorted. Alex McEwen's about to take his hot lap around here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. We're right on board with him as he comes into turn 1, and we are about to head ourselves right up into Hell Corner. Up Mountain Straight we go, and look at that. Just a beautifully planted car on exit is Alex McEwen. He has got all the clean air in front of him now as he keeps accelerating up the hill. Rose through the gears at the moment into 4th. Now we're about to hit 5th, about 209 kilometres, 210 as we go over the mountain. Then we start to brake here just after the 100-metre board. Dart it in, get it down into 3rd gear, flow through the corner, right out onto that ribble strip. Use that as a little bit of extra grip there for Alex McEwen, and he's done it perfectly as we come up into turn 3, 4 section at Mount Panorama. Hug that inside corner, let the car drift out wide, use the fence there as your marker, accelerate full beans through here. There is no holding back on the throttle for Alex McEwen. Just a little lift into 4th now, slapping it through the gears. 190 kilometres on the approach through the great section at Mount Panorama. Now it's getting itself wide, dancing the car very, very nice on the limit of grip adhesion. The car downforce, sucking that car through just inside and setting purple sectors here already. Alex McEwen over Skyline through the S as we go into the dipper right about now. Darts it in at 120 k's an hour there. That's a whole lot faster than the V8 Supercar, and we are in a Praga here. Right into the famous last corner. What the hell is this corner called again? I can't believe it. I'm un-Australian. Down Conrad Straight we go. Now we're on the full beans. This is all balls to the wall. 190 about to shift into 5th. 210 they shift into 5th gear as we go under the Bilco Pack overhead signage. Right into top gear. 239 kilometre approach as we go over the crest here into 6th. The final gear ratio left in a Praga. They hit about 260 max kilometre an hour. There's going to be suckage down here, but Alex McEwen only green in the 2nd sector. Someone has gone faster than him. Down into the chase we go now. Basically gets the car pointed smooth as butter. You can watch the throttle tracing there from him, seeing how you can do it on the pro side of the Wednesday Cup in Alex McEwen. Shift down through the gears, darts it into the final corner and up onto the first front straightaway. 208.
Yeah.
0.0 straight away to the top. Jake Buttigieg's 4 tenths away, and now Fergo's joined in the party with a 209.8.
Yeah, be happy with that. So sitting 3rd on the timing tower currently there in the McLaren colours, just getting eclipsed by Matthias Falzon as well. So pretty tight at the top as well. So 3 minutes to go. Most of these guys will probably get around for this lap and another one. So that is good news. They will get 3 laps out of it. I reckon the tyres will be pretty. They'll be trying to hold on too, because the trip across the top of the mountain. We'll see the throttle trace on some of these guys, whether they lift or not. There's plenty of downforce in these little cars as well, so you might just find them just flat to the floor pretty much from about here all the way around. We're just watching Ferguson now flat through that little kink. You definitely cannot do that in a V8 supercar or even or maybe even a GT3. I'm not too sure. I do not drive GT3s if I can avoid it. Here he goes around. It's flat to the floor for Fergo. Look at that, just green all the way top. Little bit of a lift there into McPhillamy. So that's the point of adhesion, I suppose, for these cars now. The trip down the hill. And pretty planted too for Fergo. These cars look like a hell of a lot of fun through this circuit. You can really chuck them in, especially down that little dippery part of the circuit. Very nice. Dippery, slippery. You don't want it to be slippery. You do want those tyres to stick. Ferguson shooting it down the main straight. Buttigieg just 4/10 behind, as those guys are also just in the front. You can see them in the foreground or the background there, heading their way down the Conrod Straight. I'm looking at the timing. No one's gone purple. No one has gone green either. So this second lap, actually, Jake Buttigieg has gone purple in the first sector.
Yes.
So he might be on for a little improvement here. Actually, just as I say that, he's just teetering on the edge of grip. Ferguson coming down to the final turn here as well. He's got his mate Nick Mello there in front of him on circuit in the bright blue Praga. You can't miss it. Fergo goes up in position, but we're going to just follow Jake Buttigieg because he's out. He's just binned it when he was up.
He would have been within half a tenth of Alex McEwen on his previous lap, but Alex McEwen's gone bang with a 207.993, the first man in the 207s, mind you, and the timing tower keeps tumbling. Mitchell Cole's gone in with a 212. Then we've got behind him, we've got Gray Ward, Paul Buttigieg Sr., Braden Moore, Brody Barber, the haircut's in. The windscreen's joined us for another go here as well. And also, right down in 20th, hasn't set a lap yet, the Malaysian Marvel. He's got to get himself up there, in there, ready to rock and roll. But Nathan Hughes with a 209.199. That is going to be awesome. That mid-pack is so close. We've got 49 seconds left here in qualifying, and these guys need to set green or purple sectors, because who is going to knock off Alex McEwen? Schmerley's come in, bang, just gone into 7th place as well. McEwen is even 3/10 up, mind you, on his own personal best, so he's going to be on here for a mid to low 207 if he can put it all together and not get hampered by the obvious car in front of him. That is a Jaguar liveried vehicle, and I cannot remember who that car is for the life of me. I'm out of it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But McEwen getting a little bit held up here. He won't be too upset because you can see Jake Buttigieg in the pits, so he knows he's not under too much pressure. But now a suck down the back straightaway. A Conrad, in fact, he's just going to make him tie his time up a little bit. He's still up. Oh, yeah, by only 7 thousandths of a second, mind you. But a bloody close one here for Alex McEwen. What can he do through the final sector here at Bathurst? Is he going to get through the chase nice and cleanly, and then at the final corner get that sorted and pulled up nicely to make himself even just assert dominance, so to speak, and swing his cock around a bit harder and just say, I've got Bathurst signed, sealed and delivered, boyos. Come at me.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on for an improvement here, but it is, I think, redundant because the two main threats there behind is Buttigieg and Mello. Both of those guys are now in the pits. But he will cross the line for an improvement. It's an 207.8, just turning the screws slowly. 10th by 10th. Here comes Hughes. He's gone pretty quick there in the third sector. Am I looking at the wrong one? No, that is carried across from McEwen's time, where he went purple in the third sector. So Nathan Hughes really only has to make up a 10th on his previous time
He's on a 208.3
to get up. Yeah, so he is up 8/10 here at the moment. That is a huge improvement for him. That might be just enough to put him on the front row, but he's got another car out on the circuit here to contend with. Maybe a little bit of suck all the way to the line, and he's going to need it too. The car's off the circuit. He has to avoid him a little bit. He goes up one position to get the inside of the second row there next to Nick Mello, but that is qualifying done and dusted. Alex McEwen is your pole sitter, sitting inside the sensational bus as well. So it's all coming together for Alex McEwen, getting the best of both worlds there.
Wow, that's a sight to behold.
Isn't
inside
it?
the bus.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Could make that a skin for next year, to be honest. But yeah, that's him. That's the man. Jake Buttigieg's off second, and then Nathan Hughes is your final podium getter for qualifying. Nick Mallow in fourth, with Sir Andrew Ferguson in fifth place. He'll be very happy with that as the timing towers, everyone exits the server, and it keeps updating us the wrong way. We'll go to the actual standings there, ladies and gentlemen, to show you who is correctly on pole position. As we know, Alex McEwen, bang, 0.4 of a second over Jake Buttigieg in second. Nathan Hughes, a little bit, only 2.5 tenths away from Jake Buttigieg's time, with Nick Mallow a fair way off. But that mid-pack battling there, these guys, as the racing goes on tonight, will get closer. Andrew Ferguson, 5th. 6th from Matthias Falzon Schmerli in 7th. Great showing from him, just popping in at the last second. Jack Ferguson as well, back in with the haircut. And Mitchell Cole inside the top 10. That's a cracking top 10 to look out for, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, great. And we got Gray Ward just on the outside there with Paul Buttigieg, Braden Moore, Sam Bensley, Ian O'Brien. The Malaysian Marvel is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Warwick down there in 17th. Matt Munro, I think, has maybe waving the white flag there in the practice session. Down in 18th position. So, that's a terrible... That's his worst start here for the whole season. Ezra Simon's behind him with Hayden Wallace there in 20th. Scott McEwen behind him. And then there's a couple more that will be joining after we get into race 1. Hopefully Jesse Marshall can get into into the server. We've got Colin Warwick signed up as well, who's going to have a crack. It's going to be elbows out racing, says Ron Marshall, and he's not wrong.
No, not wrong at all. And I think what we need to do, as I get my throat sorted out, holy mackerel, mid-gulp, we will be lubricated up here in the commentary box. We'll be as slippery as a gypsy with the mortgage as well. And we're going to get racing here soon. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1 out of 3, and maybe even 4, actually, because we have got a surprise for you viewers. We have got the BMW as the 4th event for tonight here on the stream. So stick around after race 3. Don't go anywhere. But race 1 for the Pragas for the final time here in the server on Wednesday Cup are going to go racing. Stick around.
Well, we're down on track now, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the hold-up. We're trying to get all the competitors into the server. I think Colin Warwick might miss out on this one, but the show must go on. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. He can join for the second race, or indeed this one when he gets his content sorted out. But we've got 20 seconds to a start, Zach O'Reilly.
Ready to rock and roll, big balls.
Absolutely.
We are off and racing. The lights are up. Christopher Munro.
Oh, they are.
Who's going to be able to get Alex McEwen on the track? I don't know. But Jake Buttigieg's got to put it to him here. Let's go racing.
Let's go racing here for the final round here in the Pragas. Who's going to get the whole shot here into turn 1? They are off and racing now, finally, but it looks like Alex McEwen, as always, getting the cracking start and has the advantage of the inside. Comes out a little bit off the racing line to give himself a nice little angle through there, but look at the view of the arses of all these Praga R1s heading up the main straight. As you can see there, it looks like Hughesy and Mello going side by side. No, Hughesy and Ferguson there. Indeed, let's get a top view and see how these guys are faring. Ferguson has the inside here, so he will have the advantage, but Hughesy just wants to send it around the outside here at Griffin's. Oh, that's good stuff there. Looks like Ferguson has the better of it. We'll watch them all go past and see if we get some other little action bits down the back here. There goes Maury in the same livery, but look at that. Everyone is through without any tears at all. Oh no, there's a little swap over for the lead here. Jake Buttigieg having a little dip at Alex McEwen through the cutting. That's sensational stuff. We're going to ride on board with Mello because he's now giving Buttigieg a bit of a hurry up, and across the top section here, as we saw in qualifying, it's flat stick, maybe just a little bit of a dip as we come in through McPhillamy here, just to get that front end to a little bit more weight over those front tyres. Yeah, Mello dicing with death there on the first lap. That's wild stuff, but I suppose he's not in it for the championship points. He's just here to have some fun, and that's the best way to have a bit of fun too, and these guys just absolutely sending it. Look at them all come marching down the hill one by one, as the song might suggest, but where I'm looking for all the guys down the back here. Where's Matt Munro? He's made his way up to 12th position after a half a lap so far, so he's had a good start. Not the best qualifying session, but he'll make up for it in the race. Here we go, Brody Barber. We've got, who's on his outside there? Ferguson. Gray Ward now getting involved. They're going to go 3 wide at the bottom of the chase here. This is a recipe for disaster, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think's going to happen? Who's going to end up in the bunda? Oh no, they've all just come through and survived somehow. No, as I say that, there goes Barber off the track. Oh my God.
Turn it up, ladies and gentlemen. We had you all on the stream there, caught in 4K. But anyway, that's all right. Ready to rock and roll. Matt Munro's been promoted up a position after all of that into 11th place, so he'll be happy about that. He's on the march here to try and get himself inside the top 10. Hughesy, however, is really on the back here of Fergo. Those two battling on the lap one there. You can see them coming into the first section of Bathurst, and they were side by side all the way up, and they're doing it again. Fergo's still got the inside run, but Hughesy has got the supreme acceleration version of the Praga at the moment. Got a way better exit than Fergo.
Whoa.
Now he's going a bit half defensive, and here comes Falzon right behind with the Jaguar livery there. Right there. Is Fergo going to stick it up underneath? No, he's not. Falzon's going to be having a half a look here too, so we need to see what Falzon can do. Is he going to just sail behind these guys for the next half of the lap and get them all at the well, geez, what is it called? I can't remember the final corner before the straight. Holy mackerel.
Forest.
The Forest elbow. And will he do that? But nonetheless, he is right up there. He's giving Fergo all the curry in the world now. Hughesy's just skipped away and said, thank you, I'm out. Oh, no. Carnage here between Moore. And that looks like the haircut from Brody Barber as well. Sam Bentley's still trying to get around the circuit somehow. Yeah. But the haircut got to shift in reverse. And look at that windscreen. Absolutely more cracks than a nudist beach or Freddie Mercury's orgies back in the day. I'll give you the hot tip. Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, there's plenty of that too. But Falzon now just tacking on to the back of Ferguson. Ferguson had pace in qualifying as well, but Gary Ward now, Grey Ward having a bit of trouble there at Forest Elbow, and he just has to wait for the entire field to stream around because this is going to be very dangerous.
Shit.
Oh my goodness, it's not the Forest, it's actually at the Dipper, and that's even more dangerous. Now he's got a good gap now. He's got more through. Barber and Bensley coming through next, but now he's got a little bit of a gap after these two guys get through. He can actually get back out on circuit and, well, hopefully do better than that. But here's Wallace on the back. Senior butting now. He pulls out of the slipstream, heads to the inside of the kink, but at the outside of the next track, but the turn. But look at that, the pace on him. Just charging past Paul Buttigieg like he was standing still there. Just gave him an absolute cold. So Buttigieg can do better than that. We've seen him hit his straps in this series so far. He's gone from strength to strength. So hopefully we'll see a bit of that talent on display later on. A newcomer to the Series 4 tonight, Brandon Schmell, gets it a little bit sideways out of Hill Corner, but that's not going to hurt his momentum too much because there's battling down here between Junior Ferguson and Matt Munro.
Ooh, this is spicy. Munro's got the outside run and the slipstream. Up Mountain Straight we go. Can these guys stick it mean and clean together? I'm not too sure because Jack Ferguson is a feisty customer and is Matt Munro. So it looked like Jack Ferguson's just going to slot in right behind him and hopefully not take him out. He doesn't. So that's beautiful stuff there. Absolutely sensational racing by the both of them. 8th place for Matt Munro from 20th already. And we are 9 minutes and 51 seconds left in this race. So he's on the charges, Matt Munro. And if the VR headset doesn't stuff up on him or his computer doesn't die, he could be on here for a top 5 because it's only about 5 seconds between himself and Matthias Falzon sitting there in 5th place. So look out on the charge here. And he's up again, 0.5 of a second on his own personal best, just clearing Jack Ferguson. He's releasing him into Brandon Schmerl's path. Schmerly and that was Jack Ferguson hitting the wall, I'm pretty sure. Was it Matt Munro in the back end? But nonetheless, he's flying at the moment, 0.8 of a second up on his own personal best now, Matt Munro. And look at the gaps between that yellow car and the Mercedes-Benz Praga. It has been decreasing it within the last 600-700 metres. Ferguson's in the wall in the background there. He's slapped it again. So now we've got to look out for Matt Munro because he could get on for P8 or P7 here, sorry, by the end of this lap. If he's going to get half a suck here down Conrad Straight, geez Louise, look at the pace of him. He's now looking in Schmerley's rear vision mirror and just saying, I'm here, mate. If you could flash the lights in a Praga, you give it to him. Now Jack Ferguson's really hampered because he's got a damaged front splitter and the windscreen there because that is Mitchell Cole gone straight past him in the same livery. Yeah, you can see the damage there on Ferguson's car. Yeah, there's not 1 inch of that hasn't seen contact with a wall or another car so far. So, we'll move the map back over there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a banged up Praga R1, but he'll get around. There's no need to go and fix these cars because if you do, you will be certainly promoted to or demoted to the back of the field. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, you can see the damage now is hurting him because here goes Wallace. He came from nowhere and he'll just go straight past
as well. So pace deficit there with a bit of damage. But now Munro's just gone bang straight past Schmerley as well. He's made his way up to 7th position now. He's got his old mate Ferguson in his sights, only 3.8 seconds up the road. Here he is now. And he has, well, he's just let go of fouls on him, as we've seen. He's already, 2 seconds up the road. Now giving Hughes a bit of a headache.
Yeah, giving him maybe a little bit of migraine. Hughesy tapped the wall there too, so we just saw that on the exit, and that could be a little bit of aero damage for Hughesy. His car was already damaged too, by the way, when we saw him make a move. So a little bit more to add to the bank in the damage Delta department. But Falzon's car's looking absolutely crystal. Oh, they're both in the wall there too. Wow, this is absolutely sensational stuff. Full nightclub at 2 a.m. style here on the old MDMA pills. I'll give you the hot tip. More slaps here at the moment, even more slappers than a $5 strip show. I'll give you the hot tip. Jesse Marshall has entered the server finally after getting handshake fails, and now he's on the back end of windscreen. Has the windscreen got a clear one in front of him? We're not too sure. That Alpine livery Praga just dancing on all of the curvages you could possibly use here at Mount Panorama as they go through its skyline now into the S as we go. And it's
look
a
at this up ahead.
That
Jesus.
is Ezra right there on the back of the Malaysia Marvel 2. Schmerley's coming there in front too, so maybe a car on the track just sitting nowhere. Where are we going to see him? Or has he got... No, he's out the back of this one, so that's fine. That is incredible. Ezra Simmons is right on the back here now of the Malaysia Marvel. And Malaysia Marvel needs to get on his jets because he has got a very, very fast Praga Ferrari livery car right behind him and well within the sucking at the moment too. Look at the gaps now. We're climbing up the hill and it's ever decreasing. That gap is right there. Simmons is going to try and pass him without punting everyone like he did last night in the Rangiao Cup. He's got it done beautifully. Malaysia Marvel's going to try and stick a fat, but I think at this point in time he's out of answers. No, Malaysia Marvel nearly just braked himself a little bit. Saved Ezra Simmons from absolute disaster. Hopefully, I wish he did hit him, to be honest. But anyway, at the moment, that's what we get. That's an in-joke, ladies and gentlemen. That is no bad karma wishing from the commentary box. Me and Ezra on a lovely little rant together. But Jesse Marshall at the moment, really on the back here of the windscreen. This is another little cracking battle here for 13th and 12th.
Yeah, it is. Marshall came in late as well, so he would have started at the very back. So cracking stuff there. 9 positions up for him. He'll be loving life. Ron will be loving life as well, as he does cheering him on in the chat there. He says, "Come on, Jesse." So he's got the suck now on the Alpine. Look at the pace difference here on the closing speeds. He goes up the inside. Nothing much Ian O'Brien can do about that except just watch the red car go through and just maybe tack on underneath the rear wing and try and do a little return serve up here into the cutting. But as you know, if you've ever raced at Bathurst before, the overtakes are pretty tough to come by up this end of the circuit. You sort of just have to... Well, there's a car going slowly there.
That's Malaysia Marvel.
We've got Wallace as well. Both of these guys having a bit of a tangle up there together, perhaps. Well, both moving slowly.
Both moving very slowly. In fact, standstill sort of stuff there for the Malaysia Marvel. He's dropped back down to 13th place, so he has to reset now for race 2, that's for sure, mentally. But Ezra now hunting down Buttigieg Senior. This could be interesting because I know Buttigieg Senior is about 100 kilos full of muscle, and Ezra here is about as skinny as a garden rake at the moment. So we'll see what these two battle like on track. It's all bars, all shackles unhinged here. Is Ezra in the mind of, I don't care who it is, it's just another object to be passed, Alan Jones style, but we'll see what he can do. He's in the suck now. Paul Buttigieg did get a good run there out of the chase, so we'll see if Ezra can close up enough. He's half a second up on his own personal best too, so he's found some clean air and found some pace here as Ezra, so we'll see what these two can do. It's too far away at the moment. Battle resuming, and I'll tell you what, William Wallace is coming to proper with Sam Bensley in the background there. They're having a good little tussle. This is a 3-way battle here. We've got Bensley, Wallace, and the haircut all within the suck range of each other, bar that barred Sam Bensley. So Sam Bensley now in the Benetton liveried Praga R1, really coming to grips here at the old suck battle. He's weaving down the back straight here, and he's just trying to stick it fat because he's got a bit of damage. And here comes William Wallace right up the inside. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits. He says, I'll take that one. Can he keep it together out of the second part of the chase? He can. Just on the limit of grip adhesion there for him, but cracking stuff there from William Wallace. Came from absolutely nowhere and punted it down the inside cleanly and fairly. Great stuff.
Yeah, man, the suck here is strong. I tell you what, these guys, if you're within maybe just 3.5 tenths coming out of Forest Elbow, you are pretty much guaranteed about 10 k's an hour more than your competitor coming down over the crest. So a bit of strategy here, something to think about. Where do you want to make that pass stick? Do you want to maybe do it down Conrod? But then we have the advantage of, well, now the Sam Bensley getting the reverse suck up the hill, and he will return serve now on Wallace up into Griffin's Bend. As easy as you like, all he has to do is just find the apex here.
No!
Wallace turned in like he wasn't even there, but you can't do that, son. There's a car next to you. He's somehow got away with it. Still facing the correct way. He's lost a position to Brody Barber, but he's still in the fight.
Yeah, he's still in a fight. Cracking little three-way battle here. Bensley at the moment is just hoping these two now battle on so he can skip further up the road, but nonetheless, cracking stuff. A little three-way tussle. They're all sort of even on pace, but then the suck comes into it, and they start doing a little bit of a Swan Lake ballerina dance style in the suckage department. What's happened here to Ezra and Paul Buttigieg? Nothing, because now Ezra's really on the back of him at the moment. Air Moncton needs to put the afterburners on here for Paul's side of things, because Ezra is now within the suck range, and he's found another 7/10 on his own personal best. And look at the closing speed now. Here it is dead set, a absolute profit to get some suckage down the back straight of Conrod here at Bathurst, because it is all dividends paid in the bank account for Ezra Simmons into 8th place now as he goes through and breaks it beautifully into the chase. Got that job done easily. Paul Buttigieg's still inside the top 10. And look at this, it's come together again. Barber and Sam Bensley, I'll tell you what, you two, you guys need to have a bit of a biffo off circuit and keep it on the track there in terms of the racing department. Wowee.
Yeah, a little bit of Murphy Ambrose there to be had maybe behind the sheds afterwards, but we sort of knew those guys were going to have a go. Here goes the battle for seconds on now. Jake Buttigieg's made his way up behind Nick Mello there. Maybe a little mistake there from Mello as well, because he's just gapped him again. He just goes bang and says, I'll have 3/10 on you just through the cutting. So McEwen's buggered off up the road. He's 7.8 seconds down the street, and looking at another win here in round 7. Nick Mello joined the series tonight, so he's pretty inexperienced in these cars. Oh, Jake Buttigieg, that's hairy stuff just going across the grass there at McPhillamy. Probably not the wisest idea, but he's made it stick. He's kept it on the track and kept it out of the wall. So that's all positive things there for Jake Buttigieg. But I think, maybe Mello did just make a little mistake there at the top of the hill, because he has now consolidated that and he is back on his merry way. Oh no, here's a mistake for Hughes. He's lost a position. It fouls on straight away. Where's Matt Munro? He's 15 seconds behind, so he's not quite close enough to take advantage of that mistake by Hughes. But just one position down for Hughesy there. Look at the old the JPS cars had gee whiz, that must be tough to drive out there with a fair bit of aero damage. These cars rely on aero, ladies and gents. They only weigh about 500 kilos.
Yep.
I think depending on the driver too, so you don't want to be too much of a fat ass in there because you'll weigh it down. We are on the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Alex McEwen crossing the line now for the final time here in race 1.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, I think it was Nick Mello who took Jake Buttigieg's position off him. I think they were battling each other, and Buttigieg came out worse of it. So, unless I'm completely wrong, I swear that was what was going on. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter, because that is P2 and 3. Jesse Marshall right now on the back of the Malaysian Marvel 2, who nearly got himself a top 10 on the final lap for these guys coming around now. Once they get through this section here, it'll be one more time Daft Punk start. And can they both get it done? Jesse Marshall really heavy on the anchors there. Malaysia Marvel's going to have a beautiful run out of the last part of the chase and try to sail it around the outside Scandia style. Can they keep it out of each other's tails and just keep it nice and fair, give each other enough racing room into the final corner? They do. They're right there. No, Jesse Marshall just bumps him off and says, no, I'm not giving you anything about that. You can piss off, son. I'm out. But now they're side by side at 2, and if they can keep it side by side here, the Malaysian Marvel's got the best run up the mountain straight here, and he does so. Can he get on the power earlier? He does. He's right neck and neck with each other. A drag race down mountain straight, but anything, he's walking away there from Jesse Marshall, I'll tell you what. And it's the Malaysian Marvel sticking in 10th place here, cracking stuff. Last lap battle, and it's all over. The final place to start on pole for race 2. Yeah, this is quite an important little battle here. Well, actually, no, it is, because whoever misses out here one will start at the front, the other one will start in 11th. So quite a lot on the line here, and Amon just getting all sorts of sideways on the inside of Griffin. So, oh man, his chances are running out now as
Marshall just runs off down the road. 8/10 the gap now. That's great stuff for Marshall household, but the Malaysian Marvel will be absolutely spewing, and I think that gap might just be too formidable now to make up. That's a shame for him, but we're going to have to cross to the winner because he is coming down to the final turn. Alex McEwen, as we've said so many times in this championship, takes the checkered flag in race 1. He's a good driver out there. Someone beat him. I don't know. We're going to have to come out of retirement, Zach, to show these guys it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's time that race 3, Zach O'Reilly gets in the VR headset and has a go. But nonetheless, we all wish Jake Buttigieg in 3rd, Nick Mallow 2nd, and Falzon. Beautiful drive by him, just coming back at the last minute as well. Missed a couple of rounds here and gets 4th. Nathan Hughes, that car's got more hits than Elvis. Then if we look at Matt Munro's car as he crosses the line very, very shortly, we have a look. We've got Elvis and Queen in the hits department there because his car is absolutely reg-hunted. And then Mitchell Cole is also in the wars too. But then that's not Ezra Simmons. That's a lap marker coming through at the last second there. Ezra Simmons is going to cross the line in the Ferrari livery. Great drive from him nonetheless. Paul Buttigieg gets himself on the front row of race 2 with Jesse Marshall a good decade of seconds later. And he's round in the final turn now to take P10. And that will be your pole sitter for race 2.
Yeah, absolutely. He's happy with that too. A little bit of swerving there. Ron's happy in the chat. Everyone's happy when MBR get up. So he'll be getting chased down by the fast guys in the next race. Nervous stuff, but just try and hold on for as long as you can, Jesse. Hopefully you can make it the 16 minutes and cross the line. Malaysia Marvel in 11th. We've got some... What's happened here? We've got something going on in the background. I can't quite figure out what's happened. But a cracking battle there between Warwick and Bensley. Bensley just binned it on the final. Yeah, right. They were close enough that you knew it was going to happen. But here goes Stephen Warwick now. One of the last around with Bensley. We got Schmerley back there as well. Andrew Ferguson was a late retirement. I think I remember him putting it in the pits I don't know what lap, but he was up there, Zach. So I did see him teleport to the pit, so maybe some issues there. Maybe just slapped the wall a little bit too hard.
Yeah, maybe just tried to do a bit of a rendition of Elvis Presley in his heyday there and strike the furry wall too hard for Andrew Ferguson. But nonetheless, that's all our finishes there. 2 Fergusons, in fact, senior and junior, coming 20th and 21st in that race with Braden Moore, a DNFer, and Cole Warwick getting in at the last minute there. So he'll be back for race 2. But that's it. Alex McEwen's now got to fight his way through from 10th place. We would usually say that's a challenging feat, but at this point in time with the old trajectory on where he finishes, it might just be a little bit too easy. But who knows, because we've got Jesse Marshall and Paul Buttigieg off the front row for race 2. So you know what to do. You've got a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Go and refresh yourselves. Go put some deodorant on if you've been sweaty there, Ron Marshall, because your son's got inside the top 10 and you're celebrating. Get those condiments refilled because Sensational TV going to be back. Second last race of the season here in Wednesday Cup in just a few minutes.
Welcome back, viewers. It was a good little race, that last one. They did spread out at the front, though. We did see plenty of battles in the mid-pack, and that's just been the common denominator here in Wednesday Cup. They're sort of bookended by some skill. And in the middle, it's an absolute free-for-all because they are separated by thousandths of a second in the skill department, in the pace department down there in the middle pack. So, tell you what, they get their money's worth in this. They get some door-to-door, nose to tail, pretty much all up and down the field. So hopefully everyone out there is enjoying the show. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe. We had a bit of a scare this week, didn't we, Zach?
Oh yeah, we got taken down by by Skynet of YouTube land. AI just thinking we are crypto scammers based on a title that was not too different from the other one with 2 streams after the other. So we were down for about 15, 16 hours, and Chris and I dead set thought we had gone to about 5 curry houses in a row because we were shitting ourselves to no nth degree. But we are back. and that's all that matters here. And for race 2, geez, it's going to be a cracker. Look who's on the front row.
Yeah, who we got there? We got Marshall off the inside, Paul Buttigieg around the outside. That'll be an interesting battle. We got the Ferrari colours of Simons, and we got Mitchell Cole there as well, up in the top 4. Who's behind them? Matt Munro. Look out. He's made up about, 14 or so positions off the start, possibly more from that last race. Nathan Hughes up there. We saw he could have done better as well. I think he just made a mistake at some point in the near end of that last race. So keep an eye on him. He's got more pace in him than 7th. Fouls on as well. Jake Buttigieg now to the pointy end of that last race. Alex McEwen behind him. The Malaysian Marvel, Hayden Wallace. Scotty McEwen jumping out of the... Oh, actually him and Alex. Scott and Alex both jumping out of the server at the same time. So maybe some internet issues in the McEwen household. I'm not sure if they live together or not, but I would say so. By that, they're both joining back. Yeah, joining back in now. But we got some lights up, and we're about ready for a start. Alex McEwen needs to get his ass back into the server. Maybe he's done the sums and he knows he can win the race, even if he win the championship, even if he doesn't. Anyway. Let's go racing, ladies and gents. It is a good... Well, it's a poor start there from Jesse Marshall. He's going to get swamped here on the outside. Simons with a fantastic start. He's going to slim it up. Oh, this is dangerous stuff here.
No.
Paul Buttigieg.
Pile up.
Yeah, there is. Buttigieg's sort of cut across the nose of Edge of Simons. They did go 3 wide, which is crazy stuff, but just not enough awareness there by all 3 drivers to make that stick. But here's another 3 wide situation here. Marvel on the inside. We've got Jesse Marshall on the in the middle, and Jake Buttigieg making up a number of positions there as well after the bad luck start from his father. But you can see him just down the back there. Buttigieg didn't lose well, he did. He lost about 10 positions, but now they're all just shuffling and getting their way through the pack. As you can see, there's a big accident at the back. That looks like Braden Moore or Nathan Hughes, one of the JPS liveries. It's a Hughesy. He's had a shocking start, and here comes the rest of the field through Nathan Bensley and Colin Warwick as well joining in. But the battle's on for the lead. Tyus Falzon has made his way up behind Mitchell Cole now. Mitchell Cole leading, doing a great job slapping the wall. As I say that, that's a commentator's curse, but he's just sidestepped Falzon as well. Here goes Falzon. That's a pretty easy position for him. And he will just chuffle off down the street. Amon now into 3rd place. He's got his hands full because Jesse Marshall is behind and applying the blowtorch. Look at these 4 guys getting stuck in. We're going to ride on with Ezra Simons because he can see Jake Buttigieg now trying to send it around the outside of Jesse Marshall here at the Forest elbow. I don't know if that's going to happen. Looking for a bit of a cutback as well. Jesse Marshall slapping the wall on the inside there. That's going to slow him down. But look at the slipstream here from Simons. There's not really much room for him to go. They're going to just try it here. 3 wide down Conrod Straight. Simons does have the best momentum, so you expect him to just get 2 for 1 here, but the side drafting is just not doing what he wants to.
No.
Look at Marshall up the inside. They're all going to die. They're off into the bunda, but Simons somehow keeps it straight. He's going to survive this lap, but the other 2 not so lucky.
That is disaster. That was always never going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Never going to work there with you've got experienced and inexperienced. All combinations just turned into absolute disaster. And Ezra Simmons somehow has come out. I reckon that's a track advantage there by off the circuit, if you know what I mean.
No, he's
but,
just...
he's okay.
Play on, yeah,
I'll tell you what, Buttigieg is just having a disaster. He is spun at the final turn here and still trying to get back on track as well for poor old Jakey. So he's definitely out of this championship. I'll tell you what, Alex McEwen was probably thinking, it's all right, he'll just come first and I'll just DNF this one. But Alex McEwen has seen that happen and he's back on circuit, 17th place and finding his way through. But nonetheless, Nick Mallow versus Simmons there. That is for P4, and Ezra tried to do it, but he's gone way too wide. He's going to slap the wall there. Nathan Hughes is way down there, and his teammate, Braden Moore here, his car's very, very damaged at the front as well. Already second hand, only 2 laps into this one in 9th place. What's he going to look like down Conrod Steve? Warwick's also, that's Colin. Actually, he's had a very, very bad start too because his car is also banged up as well. And so is Ian O'Brien's in front. I'll tell you what.
Look at the rear wing.
Getting the rear wings on an angle for Ian O'Brien. Man, oh man. And he's as bent as Freddie Mercury and Elton John put together. Definitely ready to go for the old windscreen. But he can't he can't let this guy past him and Cole Warwick because he knows that we reverse top 12 coming our way. This is effectively top 3 for the final race of the evening in the Pragas. So a little bit of real estate to play for here for the rest of them. Falzon is skipped away at the front, 3.2 seconds away. Nick Mello still onto the back here. Now he's really close to the Malaysian Marvel. In fact, this is close down Conrad Straight. Has Nick Mello got a pristine-looking car? I think he does in terms of the damage department. Now he's right in the suck battle. Oh, just a little bit of something on the front there. So a little bit of front split of damage, but he's got the sucker. You can see it all disappearing. That delta's gone from 3/10 down to 1. Now it is right on the arse end of the Malaysia Marvel, and he's going to get that job done here on the brakes. Yes, just sails it straight down the inside. Can he get it pulled up for the chase? A little bit wide on the oversteer, just on the grip limit adhesion there for Nick Mello. Somehow got it done. Matt Munro's car's already looking second hand. He's on the back here of Ezra Simmons now for a P5. These two are feisty customers as well. What can Matt Munro do? He's just dancing it around the outside, teasing Ezra Simmons. He's just going to absolutely send it here onto the front straightaway. What can these two do as it comes into T1? Side by side, as you see it, is Ezra going to be brave under brakes, or is he going to let Matt Munro through? No. Simmons just says, no, take no prison. Has nearly chopped the nose off there to Matt Munro. The spatial awareness of Lance Stroll there for Matt Munro nearly killed him. Nonetheless, play on for 5th.
Yeah, and McEwen just making his way past Sam Bensley there as well. Only 15th in it for him so far, but it's, the championship's all but over because his main rival is just in front of him on track as well. Jake Buttigieg just in his sight. So Alex McEwen can pretty much relax for the rest of this. He doesn't have to stress too much, even though he is down in 15th position. He did have a 50-point advantage over Jake coming into this round. The next man out was Matt Munro in 3rd, but he was over 100 points behind. So you don't expect him to make up that ground, but Matt might just make up some ground on Jake Buttigieg in the championship, and there is still a 3rd race to go. Oh, look at that, a rare mistake. We see Alex McEwen, he kept it off the wall, but a mistake nonetheless. We're going to find some battles. There are some. Jack Ferguson and his old man are now the closest two out on track.
Oh, geez, look at this. This is over the will. This is over real estate. Yeah. This is over free rent here for one of the Fergusons. There's Jack, who's trying to take all the mortgages into the bank account balance here over his old man who's in front of him, 20th, 21st position. I would have assumed they would have been further up the grid, even though that's where they started this one. But nonetheless, they've probably just gone, let's just see if we can get some lap times in, son, and have a good battle pack by ourselves. And that's what they're doing. In dead set last, Cole Warwick, however, wow, this is now on for like Donkey Kong here. We've got Cole on the back there. We've got Braden Moore getting half a suck there off Paul Buttigieg. And that could be interesting because that is Braden Moore's damaged car on the front end. So a little bit of a downforce disadvantage. Same with Cole too. He's got a little bit of cracks in the windscreen as well. What is Buttigieg Senior's car looking like there? Not too shabby.
Oh, mate, that's all right.
No, he's absolutely... No, it's all right.
A couple of little scratches, but
little nicks here. Just no different to your first time shaving your facial here with a razor blade there for Jake Buttigieg, Paul Buttigieg, sorry, but William Wallace, the performer of the evening so far in 6th place. More in out. All right, back in this battle. Can he get up on Mountain Straight underneath Paul Buttigieg? I think he's going to be able to. All he needs to do is just get a pristine run out of T1, and he hasn't because he's bottled it up. And here comes Warwick, ready to rock and roll, going to go straight up the inside. Maury's just given up the ghost already, knew he stuffed it up, and this is a free P8 here for Cole because he's even got a double bit of a suck here off Mr. Buttigieg in front of him too, but they're neck and neck. Into T2 we go. What can these guys do? And it's straight up the inside. Cole's just gone bang. I'll use the grip limit of the Praga and just sail it up the inside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice move, nice awareness there from Colin Warwick. Another debutant here tonight. So showing some of these more experienced drivers in the Praga R1s how to do it. He's got about half the field of those behind him. So very great showing here, first time out from Colin Warwick. Beautiful livery as well. The DHL, a classic in all forms of motorsport. You've seen that around. Up the front though, the battle for second is starting to warm up. Look at the real estate that Mello gives himself, and the inside wall there at the zipper. Absolutely sweet F all. You could fit a fanny hair in between that and the wall. But here he goes now down the back. He is well and truly in the suck range of the Skoda in front, and he will just pull alongside. He'll be well in front by the time we even get to the braking zone. Nick Mello can choose which side of the road he wants, I'm sure. He doesn't need to decide because that car is flying at the moment in the number 81. He'll go to the outside. Half a cover move there as well. Just showing a bit of respect too to Cole. Doesn't just pull his pants down on the way past and say thank you very much. He actually took the time to go defensive and give him something worth. But down here now it's all heating up again. The Stephen Warwick, Ian O'Brien, and Jake Buttigieg battling it out now at the bottom of the chase. Look at the braking power of Alex McEwen back there as well. He's going to actually go past both of these guys on the way through. Can he just cut through? That's amazing stuff there from Alex McEwen. Watch this. He's on a roll. He gets 2 for 1. Wowee, that's good driving.
He just came like an absolute torpedo, Daniel Kvyat style, but managed to pull it up and not hit anyone on Conrod Straight. He braked 80 metres later than anyone else in front of him and got the job done. That is skill, ladies and gentlemen, underneath. Not as good as Munro and I, but still skilled nonetheless. And he's now climbing all over Stephen Warwick's back here for 11th place, and he's going to get that job done here. Up Mountain Straight we go once again. So he's got 3 positions in 2 corners here as Alex McEwen on the charge. Ezra Simmons is dead set be shitting himself now, seeing that car come up behind him. So we'll find out what these guys can do. Plenty of time left. 6 minutes 15 left in this race. So we've got a little bit of a leeway for Alex McEwen to cement himself back inside that top 10, starting from dead set the pit lane, and find himself here battling over 10th already. Buttigieg, I reckon he's really feisty at the moment. That car is squirrely as, and oh no, Simmons made an absolute blue, and McEwen's just gone sailing past him. Now he's under all sorts here from Steve Warwick and Jake Buttigieg too. At the hairiest part of our panorama, these guys are now neck and neck. Can Ezra gather himself back up, and what can Steve do to hold up Jake Buttigieg? No. Buttigieg's hit the wall again, so that's it. He's now real damage. Still has got no cracks in the windscreen. I don't know how the hell that has happened, as he hacked himself and got damage turned off. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know. Just looking a little bit closer at the car, you can see a few little scratches down the bottom here, but nothing major, even though that hit was quite heavy. So the Buttigieg, the Air Malta, have been built different there in that part of the world. So good stuff from him. But look at this. He's right on the back of Stephen Warwick this time. The purple Jaguar. You cannot miss it. It's quite a nice livery too. I don't mind that one little bit. But look at that. The suck strong there in the Buttigieg household. He'll go straight by him here over the crest. Has the inside run through the kink. Can Stephen Warwick reply with a bit of a late move on the brakes? Probably not this time. You can see Buttigieg very more confident. Or much more confident on the brakes. And as I say that, bins it. Thank you very much. So he'll get back a few positions. He might be able to get it back out onto the circuit before Brody Barber. But no, it looks like Buttigieg's stuck. He's stuck there. He can't go backwards. Oh, he can now reverse out on the circuit. Not the best idea, but he's got it done. Not too many positions lost for him. No, that's okay. There's a fair bit of a gap between himself and the next competitor. However, now Bensley and Barber come through and take that off him, but then Buttigieg's gone back up the inside of Barber somehow. So Malaysia Marvel, however, on screen, was on screen, and now back on screen. Inside the top 10 again. Cracking stuff from him. He's going to be right up there for race 3 coming our way shortly. And Alex McEwen is a quick customer, so I don't think he's going to get any further up the grid unless someone in front of them has an absolute mare. And 10th place is good for him, and his car looks pretty much one of the straightest cars left on this circuit, I think, here. Yeah. Somehow. He's kept it off the wall, and consistency pays off. Buttigieg's going to take over Sam Bensley's 14th position there and sail it back up the inside. Geez, this guy's had everything come to him tonight. Now Bensley's just lost it there in the background, but Falzon is right on top of everyone here. 8 seconds in front of Nick Mello. Nick Mello has got all the clean air in front of him and has not been able to catch him. So hats off to Matthias Falzon here. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left. It is all sewn up here, signed, sealed, and maybe delivered if we don't commentate a curse him. We'd better get off him and see what Alex McEwen's doing. He's gone straight around the outside of Paul Buttigieg, who probably gave him some room, to be fair. And now he's on the prowl. 2.4 seconds between himself and Wallace in front of him. We'll see what this man can do. Yeah, absolutely. He's on the comeback trail. As we said, just a leisurely Sunday drive for him at this point. I think he's got the championship pretty much wrapped up. So the first of the Wednesday Cup trophies, the physical trophy that you can have put on
put on the straight to the pool room, I suppose. Hopefully they got a pool room in the McEwen household, because I got a feeling there's going to be a few deliveries to Alex McEwen this year if he keeps entering this series, unless someone comes along and can match this guy's pace. We haven't seen it yet. Mello, probably the closest one to him we've seen in the Wednesday Cup. Although, this guy here, Matt Munro, on his day, I reckon he might be able to take it to him.
Bit of a rare praise there between the sibling rivalry coming into the sensational commentary box. But he's right on the back of Mitchell Cole here now, so this could be interesting. Mitchell's doing great here in third place. He'll be happy with third or fourth, will Mitch, because that's really keeping your nose clean here. And that's what's made him keep himself up in third place, survived all the carnage.
Yeah.
And he's driving really well, but so is Matt Munro too, to be fair. So we've got to see what this guy can do, and he's not going to be towing the line any further than that there. Well, Matt Munro, that rear wing is damaged, the front split is damaged, the side door is damaged, but not enough to be bent. So he's still got a little bit of aero left on this car, and you can see Mitchell Cole just really, really fast in the first section of the dipper. It washes him wide there, then it opens up all the rest of the corner sequence. So not the quickest way around there. If you just held up the brake a little bit, Mitch, in the next race, I guarantee you'll find 3 or 4 tenths there in the grand scheme of things. Coming up onto some lap traffic cars, and now is there enough room for a suck there for Matt Munro, who is just a little bit too far away, because Mitchell Cole's got a beautiful one off that lap car right there in front of them. So I think that was Schmerley too. Schmerley's just getting out of the way, but now Matt Munro is really singing it to the high heavens. He's right on the point of not there. That is 268 kilometres an hour, and up the inside he goes into the chase. Gets a job done under braking so far. Mitchell Cole nearly checked up into the rear end of him. But Matt Munro finds himself in P3 here with 44 seconds left to go. This will be the final lap of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a cracking job from him tonight. Just keeping that car straight, and you can see Cole there. No damage to that car at all. Maybe just a few little scratches on the front. I don't know if anyone has avoided any damage here in this race. Maybe Falzon. I reckon his car's pretty clean. He got through. Yeah, look at that. Not a scratch on his. He's been having it all his own way out the front, and that's the way you want it, really. Just clear air, clear of the carnage if you can do that. It's good stuff. We've got 8 seconds to go. This will be the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Falzon way out in front. We've got a change for position here in the 5th position. McEwen has hunted down Wallace and got him on the torture rack, pulling him in all 4 quarters. Here he goes up the around the outside. That's what they did to him in the end. But that's the English for you. Moving right along. Stephen Warwick up behind Mr. Simons.
Yeah, this is the last lap battle here for who's going to be on pole. So I reckon Steve Warwick just needs to sit there and just take P1 for the next one, because that could be interesting. But Ezra Simmons fighting it tooth and nail, does not care where he is in the championship or on the points scheme of things. 4th place overall for Ezra coming into this round, and he's in 11th place now with old Steve Warwick just right on his clacker up through this fast section. You can see how quick these buggers go through here at Bathurst. It's really awesome to watch these onboards, just to see the pace difference between this and a V8 supercar. It's night and day, ladies and gentlemen. I can guarantee you that, with all the grip limitations of a supercar, and then the downforce of these lightweight Pragas, it's really, really cool to watch them go through this section of Mount Panorama. And Steve Warwick has just got to think about where he can get Mr. Simmons in front of him, or he maybe heard the stream, because he's in 12th place and off pole. But nonetheless, this is the man of the moment. Second race winner, different race winner for tonight here as well. Matthias Falzon crosses the line, takes it by an absolute country mile. 5.4 seconds in the end, just in cruise control, like a cruise missile, intergalactic style. Nick Mallow crosses the line for second place. Matt Munro's going to take a podium here by some miracle and get that job done. P3 for him. Mitchell Cole behind him in 4th will also be stoked. And then Alex McEwen. Yeah, great drive, absolutely. And Alex McEwen will take a gallant 5th place. He got Hayden Wallace on the last lap, and he's in 5th place, and that is a drive from last to 5th.
Yeah, that's how you do it, ladies and gents. I've said it before. If you're in the server and you're wondering how he does it, you've got access to the replays. You can fire up that replay, and you can go and sit in Alex McEwen's car from the bird's eye view or the driver's eye view and just watch how he goes about his business. And I recommend doing that for any of the new drivers joining up. Find the fastest guy, find the cleanest guy, find the guy who is good at overtakes. Study what they do and try and implement that into your own racing. Colin Warwick following Hayden Wallace there in 7th position. Braden Moore with an 8th. Get out of town. How did he get up there? What's happened? Good stuff from him. Yeah, he's found some hacks somehow, but he's got up there in the top 10. He'd be stoked with that. First time for everything. Here we go. Paul Buttigieg up into 9th position with a relatively clean car as well. So good stuff from him. Apart from the start, could have been much better. Amon there, the Malaysian Marble in 10th. We've got Simons, Warwick, O'Brien, Jake Buttigieg, Brody Barber, Sam Bensley, Scott McEwen. Both the Fergusons down there in 18th and 19th with Jesse Marshall and Brandon Schmell, who Matt Hageman says in the comments needs to be replaced with Yuki Tsunoda. So a few little parallels drawn between Liam Lawson and himself. But Schmell, he's got one less race up his sleeve than Liam Lawson has. So, there's an excuse there for Schmell. He's only driven these cars once. Lawson at least twice. So, out with the old and in with the new, I say. But Schmell doing a good job down there for a beginner. That is for sure. Falzon, man of the moment.
Man of the moment, takes the win. First race went to Alex McEwen. Second has gone on Matthias Falzon. Now, Alex McEwen is sitting pretty. He'll be off 7th, I think, there from the reverse grid. Next one and the final one of the evening. The final time we're going to be seeing the Pragas here, but it's not the final event of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around after race 3 because we have got some absolutely sensational BMW E28 M5s on steroid ready to come at you for a preview of what next season could be in the car. So if you have not joined up or want to join up, and you will get a taste here tonight, and so will these drivers who have entered for the last time. So stick around for that. But race 3, reverse top 12 grid, is going to be Arata here with us in Sensational TV's commentary box. And for the AK Racing guys, for the finale of season 15, that's how popular Wednesday Cup is. 15 seasons going strong here. Mm-hmm. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, viewers. It's time for the final race of the Praga R1 Season 15 here at AK Racing's Wednesday Cup. Stephen Warwick is off the front row. Let's have a look at some of these cars. See if I can... hang on. Let's go. There we go. That's nice. There we go. Oh, no. I've messed it up. We're going to have to go back to the start. Steve Warwick there, off pole position, right next to him. Ezra Simons. Behind that is the Malaysian Marvel there in the number 69. I know that because I put him in there. Number 69. I know he's a bit of a mad rooter. That's for sure. Back
mad rooter Malaysia.
Back here is number 8. That must be Paul Buttigieg. And that is one of the JPS cars. It could be... That's Braden Moore. Yep, that's Maury there. Next to Colin Warwick. So he's got his brother or father. I'm not too sure the connection between the two Warwick boys. But if someone's listening, let us know. Breeder. Good stuff, Harley. There's number 56. That is Hayden Wallace. Behind him, Alex McEwen down there in 9th. Expect him to carve through. And Mitchell Cole, one of the standouts of last race, held on to, third for quite some time. Ended up finishing 4th, but fantastic effort nonetheless. We got about 10 seconds to a start. Get your predictions in. Who's going to win? Who's going to end up in the fence? Possibly all of them here. We've got Grey Ward in the comments saying there's no holes barred this round. We're off and racing, ladies and gentlemen. That is a pretty even start there by the front two. But it looks like, Simons just cuts across the nose of Stephen Warwick. Says, thank you very much. And he will lead the first time up the mountain here for the last time. And Warwick is in second position with Amon right behind him. Matthew Munro and Braden Moore going side by side. We'll get a top view if we can. Munro around the outside, Moore up the inside, just a slight overlap, but that is extended. Whoa, Moore's braked about 50 metres too early there, and Colin Warwick goes sailing around the outside of him. Mello's there and McEwen just battling over position, but Hughes is, no, that's Morey, just being a bit of a plug in the bottle there as well. Here goes McEwen around the outside of the cutting. Wow, that's confidence.
That's brave.
He's got plenty of it, don't you worry about that. Jake Buttigieg on the ass of his old man as well. We'll ride on board across the top of the mountain because this is hairy stuff. Look at that. You can barely see in front of that Air Malta, what a rear wing just right there in your face. These two guys, don't let him pass, Paulie, not like last time. This is it, the last race of the season. Just hold him out as long as you can. But he's got Hayden Wallace behind him as well. Look at this, there's quite a little gaggle of cars behind him, headed by Wallace. We've got Cole Falzon chiming in. Ferguson, we'll ride on board with Ferguson because he's got a pretty good view of all this. There's Falzon in front as they all break into the Forest Elbow for the first time. Oh no, that's Wallace or Cole. Someone going sideways there. It's Cole, and he is travelling slowly now. He will be overtaken by Wallace. Falzon, Ferguson lining up as well down the Conrod Straight. Hughesy just sitting in the suck of Fergo too. That will be advantageous for him. But, oh no, there's nowhere for Hughes to go, and does the wise thing and gets out of the throttle, kids. We don't always have to go 3 wide, even though there's a gap. You know, there's that saying, blah, 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 if your gap exists, blah, blah, Ayrton Senna. No one's as good as Ayrton Senna. You're a fucking sim racer. Anyway, let's get back to the lead.
Wow.
Stephen Warwick, yeah, he leads for the first round.
He does lead for the first lap of Mount Panorama. Matt Munro right on the side here of Ezra Simmons is just going to sail up the inside. Has he outbraked himself though? He just has, because he's lost all momentum on exit there. So Simmons now has got a beautiful run, but he's on the disadvantageous side of the road. See what these guys can do. What can we see from both of them? It's looking just neck and neck. Nick Mallow could give Ezra a bit of a bump draft up the straight there if he wanted to, but he thinks none the wiser. He's trying to go up the middle. No way will Nick Mallow do that. It's Simmons versus Munro. Simmons on the brakes late. Mallow straight up the inside. Beautiful. And gone, thank you, I'll take that one. He's got the job done easy as you like. That is confidence under brakes there, holding on with the grip percentage there is Nick Mallow. Now it's going to be 2 M's. We've got M&M, Munro, Mallow. Side by side nearly. Munro's in the fence, just tapped it on the exit there with a bit of oversteer. Mallow can see that and will know that he's a little bit rattled. Now he's just got to stick up underneath that rear bumper and the gearbox of that Praga R1, because in front, Steve Warwick is definitely becoming a little bit of a corky for Matt Munro. He needs to get past him as soon as possible. This is a place where you should not do a pass at any stage here at Mount Panorama unless you were braver than Braveheart himself. But it's sailing down there through the skyline into the S as we go. Approaching the dipper now. What can Mallow do? Is he going to try and get the skip away? No, Matt Munro's really, really heavy on the throttle there. So was Steve Warwick too. He's got a really, really good run out of there as well. Confidence. Munro's gone hard defensive there. Just a shallower entry. Is it going to hurt him on the exit? Oh, Steve Warwick was sideways there. And he was going to lose all the momentum to Matt Munro. And I think he's going to be susceptible here to Nick Mallow too by the time we get down the front. Back end of Conrod Straight. Mallow's got a really good run. Munro's got the best one. He's going to take P1 here unless Steve Warwick decides to go too wide. He doesn't. He'll slot back in with the slipstream. Here comes Nick Mallow though, up the inside. And he's hit Steve Warwick, and Warwick's off. He's gone. He's going to flip himself out of oblivion. And Nick Mallow absolutely sent it down the inside. Warwick has gone back at a rate of knots, unfortunately, all the way down to 7th, nearly probably 8th, I reckon. If he can get it pulled up, he'll survive. Now Munro's got an earful and a rear vision full blue of Nick Mallow. Wowee, Matt Munro saw that move in his rear vision mirror. Now he'll half be shitting himself because he's got Mallow and McEwen right behind him, fighting himself over the first place here at Mount Panorama. 12 minutes and 23 to go. This is on like Donkey Kong. Munro's got a mare out of this one. He's just going to have to go defensive here and stick it on the right.
Yeah, sitting duck, I'd say, but look at that. As Mello just jumped out of the slipstream, that really hurt his momentum. And look at Alex just chiming in. As you can see, the the view from the back is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be on the brakes here into Griffins. Let's see what's happening. Mello trying to stick it fat around the outside. Munro's not having any of it, and he will just slot back in, and this is probably advantageous for the number 17 as Mello and McEwen start to battle it out here through the cutting. Mello not giving any room to his old mate Alex McEwen. Now the battle's on, and now's the time for Munro to skip away. I've explained this before in every time I get the opportunity. This is one of my favourite moves to do. When you're under pressure there in the lead or in any position it is, you just want to back that car up into someone who is quicker and let them battle it out. And while they do that, you just skip away and say, thank you very much, boys. So keep an eye on this, but those guys probably have a pretty good understanding of each other. That is Mello and McEwen. They are teammates and have been for quite some time. So I think McEwen has... Yes, he has understood the brief. He has got out of the throttle and has just let the blowtorch off. Oh, my God, that's unfortunate. That is, that's one of the more unfortunate racing incidents. Mello's spinning around like a dreidel at the moment. But Munro and McEwen now battling it out, but McEwen's got the better of it because of the contact that Munro and Mello had with each other. That stunted his momentum. McEwen just cleaning up the scraps like a Doberman, just any sort of crumbs falling off the table. But the battle's not over here. Don't you worry about that. Munro needs to stay in touch with McEwen here. Needs to stay under the rear wing, because if he just falls out of that suck battle, that DRS train, you'll see that red and white R1 just crawling away down the rest of this of the rest of this race, should I say? Geez, I can't talk tonight.
Well, that was all Matt Munro's coming up proper there at Forest Elbow. He ran into the wall, which punted him back into the path of Nick Mello. Nick Mello went spinning around, so Munro's got some damage there for sure. God. Alex McEwen has got nothing, and the Malaysian Marvel has come a proper two. Speaking of which, the dinner for two between himself and Jack Ferguson is not going well. What's happened to Falzon is also... Ooh. Is Falzon the culprit on all of this too?
Yeah.
Maybe, because these guys are dead set last, and I think with the grass falling from the ceiling, we have got a little bit of something going on here.
Yeah.
He's in the pits behind.
Redress,
Hayden Wallace, and that surely will be a redress for Falzon versus... there goes one of them. There goes Wallace. That was Amon. And what is Jack Ferguson doing? He's DNF'd.
Yeah, he's had enough. Mello's had enough as well. But that's all right. He's not in the championship fight, so he's come for a bit of fun. Ended up in the wall, and that's the end of his race. But that's 3 races in. Don't forget to come back for the 4th, because we do get to taste the new Wednesday Cup cars, and they are looking like an absolute beauty. A little bit slower than these things, absolutely no downforce, or maybe a little bit, but in comparison to these, they're more a mechanical grip car. And you know what happens with those kind of things, low powered and low aero, you get nose to tail all up and down the field. Tell you what, McEwen hasn't gotten away from Munro just yet. He's still in the slipstream somewhat, but he's not going to be able to launch an attack at the end of the straight here. As you can see, the timing tower just he's coming down at a rate of thousands, maybe not. So he needs to just be a little bit closer, as we said earlier. About 3/10 is the magic number if you want to make an overtake down here in the chase. That gap at about half a second. Keep an eye on it, because if he can stay within that, there might be a chance to launch an attack later on. Gray Ward, however, is behind Sam Bensley now, making up some ground down into the chase. Look at that camera angle there. You get to see how punishing this track is on the tyres and suspension of these poor little cars. They're used to these little flat GP circuits. Actually, they're from the UK. Actually, these cars. So whoa, that's a nice little move there from Grey Ward. Just actually through the dummy and goes straight past Bensley, who was probably caught napping, maybe looking in the wrong side of his mirror. But now Bensley will fire it back now into turn 1. But Ward knows better and just gets to the apex and gets the foot down. So he will now have the advantage of the suck up the straight.
Yep, a little bit of a go here from both of them. Ward's got a little bit of damage there on the side, but yeah, as you said, just a little bit of a dummy, outbraked himself, and now Bensley's got it all to defend now. Steve Warwick and Ezra Simmons are having a cracking battle in front too, as well, up in 4th and 5th. They're right next to each other, driving the wheels off these cars as well. You can see Ezra Simmons there in the Ferrari. They were neck and neck coming through that section of the track, whichever one it's called. Oh my God, I'm out of all sorts tonight here. The brain is not turned on, that's for sure. But anyway, Warwick's now got Braden Moore behind him. Braden Moore has driven really well this round and relatively well all season, to be honest. So a bit of a coming of age here for the young teenager in Braden Moore, just finding his way through, and he's definitely just on the point of not there, squirreling his way through the dipper in the S's section there. He's going to have half a chance here for Steve Warwick's 5th place. I'll give you the hot tip. So,
yeah, these guys are all pretty evenly matched in the pace department as well. Last time around, Braden Moore, as you can see down the bottom right-hand screen, bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, ladies and gents, you've got their best lap, which is a 2:12.2. His last lap was a 2:12.5, so only 0.3 off his best, so very consistent there. But let's have a look at Warwick. So only 11.6, so about a second faster. But I'll tell you what, Moore, he's got the consistency here, and geez, you could not script that even better. He's got the consistency, and he spins it around. Well, that'll do me. The commentator's curse is strong tonight, ladies and gents.
Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, as soon as I go to Hughes, he's off. Who do we want to not bin it? I don't know. Fabian Fitness is in the server, everyone.
What the hell is going on? Fabian's just entered, and we did not even see it.
No.
Welcome, Mr. Fitness, driving the wheels off this car at the moment, the Brabham liveried Praga. And he's right on the back here of Sam Bensley. So a little bit feisty is Fabian. He's come late. That's what his missus says as well. So a good time in both departments here for Fabian Fitness when on track and off. That's for sure. So nonetheless, really driving nicely at the moment. He's just going to be coming to grips as the racing goes on. He's only got 5 minutes left to produce some sort of result here for Fabian Fitness. But nonetheless, 12th is a good place if you have not raced here at all. Yeah. And just jumped in the car, cracking stuff.
Yeah, not bad at all. So keep an eye on him. I'm sure him and Benson will be fighting out to the death. But the battle's on here for the minor positions here. Second place, Jake Buttigieg, Matt Munro. These two guys are second and third in the championship as well. The landscape for the championship might have changed too, because Buttigieg having a bit of a shocker in race 2. Whereas Matt Munro is right up there. Munro coming 6th in the first race as well. So, I'm no mathematician, but I'm going to say it's close between these two guys in the championship, and I'm sure both of them know it as well. So with 4 minutes and 29 seconds to go, 7/10 the difference between them at the moment. Looking at all things considered, let's have a look at some damage. Does Buttigieg have any? Not particularly. Matt Munro,
no.
Maybe a few scratches across the front, but no real damage there that's going to slow him down. So it's now just down to pace and racecraft, and see if Jake Buttigieg can make any inroads on Munro in the pace department, and then show him how to overtake at least once around this circuit. But Munro only got to hold on for another 3 minutes and 45 seconds, 3 minutes and 50 seconds, should I say, to go. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Actually, that gap's coming down faster than you can imagine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, faster than a virgin on his first route. I'll give you the hot tip. The old pants are dropped here for Jake Buttigieg, ready to go, and really turning the screws here on the pressure timing tower for Matt Munro. So he really needs to think about it, because Fabian Fitness is on the charge. However, is that lap traffic? No. That is the timing tower giving me everything I thought was not happening, which it correctly was. Hughesy versus Fabian Fitness. Hughesy really knows his track, so he has got all the knowledge. Fabian Fitness is still learning it, so a little bit of something to think about. Maybe just follow him for a bit, Fabs, and go forwards from there. Ron Marshall, thank you very much for the super chat as well. You're a legend. We love you.
The best.
That is for sure. Fitness in 12th still. Mitchell Cole's coming together at the back there with Falzon. So is the windscreen and O'Brien. Oh, no, they're coming. They're just slipstreaming each other. Windscreen's facing the wrong way. And have a look at this. No. Absolute carnage. We got cars 480 degrees facing the wrong way. No. And the windscreen's just cracked it again. Oh, geez, you've got a car going in reverse, a Praga in reverse. Here comes Falzon and Hughes trying to get through all this. Oh, my goodness gracious me. You couldn't write it any worse. That is at the worst spot you could ever do. And, oh, geez, Louise, at the back. I think is that Cole Warwick in the background there facing the wrong way? Or is that Schmerley? Oh, geez. Absolute mare for Schmerley. He's had his moments, and then he's found himself in the fence more than he's found himself on the track tonight. Falzon, however, on the back end of Fabian Fitness now because Nathan Hughes is DNF'd.
Yeah, that was a kerfuffle, man, and that could have been a lot worse as well. Lucky there was a bit of a gap between those guys and the next bunch of cars coming through, because that would have been a very hairy place, pretty much a blind turn where they were all stopped as well. You come over the top of, where were they, about Reed Park, and you don't have much time to get on the brakes when you see 3 or 4 cars just turn around on the circuit. So, unfortunate, but could have been worse. Here we go. The two crowd favourites, we're going to say. Matthias Falzon and Fabian Fitness now fighting it out for the top 10. Here goes Falzon now. You can hardly see through that front windscreen, but he just peels out of the slipstream and does what the suck does best here. Gives you about 10 Ks or more difference coming down into the closing zone, and he would just go straight past Mr. Fitness this time. But every lap, this guy will be learning the car even more. And look at this. This isn't over yet. Look at that. Look at how he's confident under brakes. Having never driven this car before, that's great to see.
Yeah, cracking stuff from him. Now, as you said, and up here too. Oh no, Ferguson and Andrew and Ezra Simmons have come together. And I think now that Steve Warwick's going to take 50, he has done so, off Andrew Ferguson. So a little bit of something going on there between the Ferrari and the McLaren liveried Pragas. And we've got the Jaguar in the middle. So we've got Past and Present, all three wide battling each other. Fergo, I don't know what he's doing, just weaving and waving through the rest of the sections. He's got some steering damage there. It doesn't look like it because his car looks pretty pristine. So maybe an unforced error there for Fergo in fourth place, and is promoted Ezra Simmons and Steve Warwick straight up for it. I'll tell you what though, Munro versus Buttigieg up the front here. Christopher Munro is on like Donkey Kong down Conrod.
Let's have a look. Yeah, they are side by side now, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Buttigieg's got better of it now. Munro might just get out of it and get a bit of that secondary suck down the back, but he is on the correct side of the road, and he is getting a bit of a side draft here as well. This is going to be all up to who can be confident under the brakes. Oh, let's see what it is. Jake Buttigieg very deep, but Matt just modulating the brake. Look at that. Beautiful driving to avoid each other there. We've seen it happen in the past where it's so easily just overshoot your braking marker there coming in, and disaster for all. But these are the top guys in the series here, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you do it.
And that's
it. Actually, this is the last lap of the race. Alex McEwen crosses the line for the win of the race and the championship. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, your season 15 champion, Alex McEwen.
Done easy as you like. Very, very consistent driving all season, and a deserved champion for season 15. He drove the wheels off that car and enjoyed every moment of them. Somehow he likes those cars. I don't know how, but he does, and he's just proven it with the points and the championship. Well done to Alex McEwen, a trophy coming your way, a physical one as well, so stick around for that. Jake Buttigieg and Matt Munro cracking stuff for the last lap there. A little dice there, Munro right on the point of not, and couldn't get the job done over Buttigieg, but second and third done that way. Ezra Simmons in fourth. Steve Warwick right behind him in fifth place, only 6/10 away, and then you've got a bit of a gap there, and the spread is huge between the rest of them. Fergo takes 6th, Jake Buttigieg takes 7th, Braden Moore in 8th place as well. That's I think that's 3 top 10s for Braden Moore tonight.
Yeah.
Here around Bathurst. Oh no, mate, the first one he DNF. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad for the old Braden Moore there, ready to rock and roll. Falzon in 9th after winning the last race. Disappointing for him. Fabian Fitness in 10th, Mitchell Cole, Ian O'Brien. Oh, we got the windscreen, the haircut. Marshall got Wardy, we've got the Malaysian Marble, McEwen Senior, Sam Bensley, Schmerley, Cole Warwick, and the rest are DNFs of Hughes, Ferguson, and Nick Mallory.
Yeah, a few casualties in this final race of the season. But it's not about the casualties, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the winner. And here he is, just coming down Conrod Straight for the final time. What a season it's been. Absolutely unstoppable for the most part. A lot of his wins have come with quite a margin behind as well. So patient driving when it comes to the reverse grids, and just blistering pace when it comes to qualifying, and when he does get in a bit of clear air and needs to put the hammer down, he certainly can do that, and has done all season long, and is a very deserved winner. It's going to be hard to predict if anyone can come through and knock this guy off his perch. He's quick in any car. He's quick in downforce cars. He's quick in mechanical grip cars. So these boys are going to have their hands full next season, Zach O'Reilly, and looking towards next season now. We got a little treat for everyone.
Yep, here we go. We've got a treat coming up for you viewers at home. This is going to be educational for all of them. No one knows how these cars drive. No one knows how much grip they've got, how much they don't have. But I can tell you what, they'll all be racing hammer and tong. It's going to be a different thing in these BMWs that we are about to launch up, ladies and gentlemen. So stick around for that here for the final event of the stream tonight. And we're going to have to take a quick break to get that server written up and ready to go. Fill in the boys, tell them where to go. So don't go anywhere at Sensational TV. We're not done yet. It's going to be a cracking event here for the final time at Mount Panorama for the Sensational TV Wednesday Cup.